over there we have a special first guest of this season. Mr. Achiri, Elvis Ndikum, you are welcome to Cameroun Feeling.
Thank you very much, Madam Patience. I'm always excited and humbled to be here to present my work and everything I'm doing. Thank you.
Glad to have you here. You're the president of the Association for the Promotion of Youth Leadership, Advocacy and Volunteerism in Cameroon. But before we wear that hat of Monsieur le Président,
thank you.
I think we should start with school days. Yeah. Were you a boarder or a day student? You know, that's how we call it here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was a day student.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How was that like for you? Did you want to be a boarder? Or did you like being a day student?
Very interesting question. I grew up in the village. So what actually happened after my primary school, there was no school that was in my village that I could attend.
Yes.
So I had to look at the most close and affordable school to get to. And Kasbambili, the very famous one, was my dream school,
right.
And I had the opportunities to study there. So I was in day school, but I loved the school. It was a boarding and a day school, but I did day school in Kasbambili, and it was always a pleasure schooling there all my life from one to upstate.
You did?
Yeah.
I was the explorer, as they call us, where you go to about 5 different schools.
Okay.
That's a story for another day.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the 6th United Nations International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies. It was marked on the 7th of September, right? What do we need to know about the significance of this day?
Yeah, thank you very much. The International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies, actually, let me set the stage. This day came a little bit late, but in 2019, on the 26th of November, during the second committee of the UN General Assembly, 74th session, the General Assembly adopted 7 resolution on adopting 7 September as the International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies. And since then, so much has been happening at country and global level. And one thing we need to know is that clean air, it's more than what we feel. It's a human right. As we want to drink water, we want to eat, it's the same thing for the air we breathe. But too often, people neglect the air they breathe. But one thing is true, everybody, your first thing you get, your first connection with life is the air you breathe. Everybody, when you cry at your bed, when you are put to bed, is the air you breathe. And so what actually happened is that people, they are ignorant about the air they breathe just because it's free. But when we try to make a balance of how free air is, it's not free, because you pay this either with a very severe lung disease or cardiovascular disease, which they are very expensive to treat. And this is something where people need to get conscious that there are issues they can identify, like this is the cause of my predicament or my disease or my death, but air pollution is one of them. It's the leading environmental risk factor, according to WHO, the World Health Organization, killing more than 7 million people every year. And the Global State of the Air report even underestimates this figure to be 8.1 million people dying every year. And in Cameroon, let me give you the figures, more than 27,000 people die in Cameroon each year from air pollution.
Okay, so Mr. Ndikum, it's very easy for us to say, okay, we're panicking right now, but we need to know what causes air pollution. Is it something I'm doing that I need to stop doing? What is it?
Very important question. Every source of air pollution, every is man-made. Okay. So because of development, urbanization, how cities are growing, and the big bunch of pollution is in cities. Like when you take mega cities like Yaoundé, Douala, they are big sources of pollution. Even if you go to Bamenda, they are still sources of pollution. And what is driving is population growth. Our population is expanding more than we expected. Urbanization, development is coming, and all these activities, if you count the number of vehicles in Yaoundé, there are just so many. If you count the number of polluting activities, waste burning, it's difficult for us to manage our waste, and sometimes we burn them. These are the first sources.
So what are the things we need to stop doing?
We need to stop burning waste. Open burning. This is one of the biggest sources of pollution in our cities, because almost everybody burns. Almost everybody.
We think we're actually getting rid of something wrong.
But we get rid of it, it harms our health and the planet.
Oh.
This is what is happening. We have waste burning, we have second-hand vehicles. Actually, we use our vehicles which are polluting
Are
vehicles.
we going to survive not using second-hand vehicles?
We cannot survive at the moment, but we need to get conscious. There are actions we can take. Your question was very important in terms of at individual level, because every pollution is not natural. People feel God made pollution. No. 50 years ago, 100 years ago, Yaoundé was very clean. There was nothing like pollution happening, and the people there were living happily till today. And now the city has become something because of development, influx of people, and now we have, because this was not anticipated, it's difficult to manage, and that's why the United Nations created this day, so that there should be global coordination on doing it, on managing the situation, because it's a global crisis. Pollution does not know boundaries. The pollution coming to CRTV is not produced here. It comes from different sources. For example, if you have hotspots, if you have somewhere they are always burning waste, this is a hotspot. It will be spreading everywhere. If you have where they produce charcoal, what they use a lot, this is a hotspot. If you have an unpaved road which is having high trucks running, this is a hotspot. That the pollution,
like roads with potholes.
Unpaved.
Okay,
mortar.
Yes.
This is also a source of pollution.
Okay.
And now with second-hand vehicles, it comes to worsen the situation. And now even indoors, I'm focusing outdoor because this is where people always neglect. Indoors, you have firewood burning. It's still a very big problem in Yaoundé. From a study I did between 2018 and 2019, more than 65% of households in Yaoundé still use firewood for cooking.
You are talking about Yaoundé. What about villages?
They use even 99%.
Yeah.
Yes, 99%.
So we're not supposed to use firewoods?
Yes. Yes. We are not supposed to use firewood. It's very unhealthy.
Okay, so that's one thing we need. Another one.
Yes. So I'm taking this from firewood to indoors. It's firewood. It's a major source of pollution indoors. There are others which are really minute, like paints and what have you.
Yes.
But we have firewood indoor burning. It's a problem indoor. But what is happening is that most of pollution indoor, like in cities, is not coming indoors. It's coming from outside. Yeah, from the sources of even where they produce gravel. Like these big cities, they have so many sources of pollution. And now what we are trying to do is to raise awareness for people to make the connection between you having an asthma attack and air pollution. You having a stroke and air pollution. This is something that people have not thought about, and there is so much evidence.
I'm glad you're talking about the effects of air pollution. You have things like asthma, even stroke.
Yes, stroke, heart attack.
Yes,
air pollution will cause them, because air pollution, what is air pollution? People will be asking, what? Always people will feel is tobacco smoke. Tobacco smoke is just one environmental risk factor which kills more than 7 million people every year. Air pollution has its own sources I've identified. They kill more than 7 people every year, more than 7 million people every year. And now we need to be careful on the way we look at this. People feel like God is taking care of us, but until you go to the hospital and the doctor starts looking. But if you're not smoking, you're not living a sedentary lifestyle, what is causing your lung issue or cardiovascular issue? For some people with severe asthma, it's always air pollution. They have been exposed since childhood. I'll take, for example, the carpet on the floor, what we call moquette in homes. This is a big source of pollution for children, because most pollution is coming from outside, settling here. The children below 5 years, they inhale all the pollution coming there. And one advice I give parents today, that if they follow, they'll be saving and improving life for their children. If your child is less than 5 years, remove the carpet on the ground until they start walking. You're saving the child, because once parents watching me today, they do what I'm saying, they will notice the child will not be going constantly to the hospital for just small breathing problems and all of that. So the solutions are there, but we need to know them. People don't know what air pollution is.
Please stay with us.